on, Mike. Before we start, while we wait for people to get on, I just want to ask a little bit about your history of becoming a chef.
Okay, so I became a chef because I had worked in kitchens all through high school. I started off in 1986 as a dishwasher in Point Pleasant for a gentleman named Willie Crosta. It was great. He employed all of my friends. I was good friends with his son, and so about 5 or 6 of us all worked for Mr. Crosta, washing dishes on the boardwalk in Point Pleasant. It was a blast. We had nothing but a ton of laughs and a lot of fun. Moving on, I went to the University of Delaware as a history major. Upon completion at U of D, I really had no idea what I was going to do with my history degree. I wasn't a very well thought out individual. My father, I remember having a conversation with him, what are you going to do with this history degree? I don't know, maybe I'll teach. That entailed more schooling, which I really wasn't down with. I dabbled with thoughts of going into sales of some sort. Ultimately, I recall my dad coming home and said, what about going back to work in the kitchens? And I said, Pop, I don't know. And he goes, you always enjoyed yourself and you were really good at it. What do you think? And I took my first job in a kitchen. My dad was incredibly supportive. My mom, not so much. She didn't like the fact that I had gone to school for over 4 years to get back in the kitchens. But my dad constantly would bring to me articles about chefs and food and different things like that. And I was real fortunate for that. So I started working professionally. My first job professionally was in the Holiday Inn in Tinton Falls. I knew nothing about cooking at the time, despite the fact of a little experience in the summers on the boardwalk in Point Pleasant. I started learning a little. Shortly thereafter, a gentleman offered me a job in Spring Lake. And I was very fortunate to work for 2 really great chefs. Greg Waitman, who was formerly the chef of Rooney's Ocean Crab House, and Mark Michael Ajak, who ultimately became the owner of Black Trumpet. Those 2 gentlemen really opened my eyes as to what could be done with food. And from that point on, it's been a love affair. And my passion has absolutely driven me. It's been a really, really fun ride, and there's a lot more to go. I've been, for the last 7 years, I've been working for Tim McClune, and that is easily the best experience of my professional life. So I'm very fortunate that Tim has allowed me to open up 3 restaurants for him, the Iron Whale, Rum Runner, and the Robinson Ale House. Each one of them was absolutely fantastic. I worked with so many wonderful people throughout the way. People that are dear friends of mine. The list is way too long to mention all of them. So.
All right, that's good. All right, we're ready. Whenever you are, let's get cooking.
All righty. So, Tim McClune asked me when we opened up Rum Runner to develop a really nice pork chop dish, and I really got excited about working at the Rum Runner. I wanted to infuse rum in a lot of our dishes, so I thought a Dark and Stormy barbecue sauce would be really, really cool. I thought that would marry really well to pork, of course. The Dark and Stormy barbecue sauce, most barbecue sauces are ketchup-based, brown sugar. In this barbecue sauce, I made this ahead of time. The recipe is listed. There's brown sugar, ketchup, some lemon juice, ginger beer, some dark rum, and a plethora of different spices, along with some molasses. And the one ingredient you might struggle with finding is liquid smoke. My sous chef, Danny Kane, swears to me that it's easily bought in the supermarkets. So we made a lovely Dark and Stormy barbecue sauce before anyone came today. We cooked it down. Again, ketchup, brown sugar, lemon juice, ginger beer, dark rum, some lemon zest. And what we're going to do is we're going to sear our pork chops off. We have some beautiful pork chops here. We get tremendous pork chops working for McClue's from J. Barola Meats. Absolutely a beautiful product. It's a Hatfield product. We're going to season it with salt and pepper. Once again, I like to use a coarse salt, Malden sea salt. And these are going to go right into a medium hot pan. I'm going to check our oil. Our oil looks like it's nice and hot. Please be careful when you start searing these. You might want to just tip the oil away from you. So therefore, you're in no danger of it splashing back at you. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to put a Lyso crust on these. Got a little too much oil in this pan and not enough in that one. So we're going to brown these. Browning always develops a complexity in flavor, as opposed to boiling. Put color on a protein or even a vegetable. You're going to develop a really nice texture and a lot of taste along with that. So we're going to brown these chops. We're going to serve these with some roasted Brussels sprouts. The other owner of McClue's, Beth McClue, loves Brussels sprouts. So therefore, I couldn't resist by making some beautifully roasted Brussels sprouts. We're also going to serve this with some whipped sweet potatoes as well. So as our pork chops brown, we're going to get our Brussels sprouts going. I have some Brussels sprouts here, cut in half. I am going to dress that with extra virgin olive oil. A little cider vinegar. A little fresh thyme. I have some thyme in there. When you buy fresh thyme, just take the sprig out and just go straight down on it, and all the leaves will fall off. We're going to toss these real quickly. We're going to season them with a little salt. A little black pepper. We're going to toss them. We're going to go right on an aluminum foil lined baking dish. They're going to go into the oven about 12 to 15 minutes. So we're getting back to our pork chops now. Looks like we still have a ways to go on some color. Sorry, Beth, I misplaced. Oh, there's my comments. I thought I was going to have to get these on. So we are browning our pork. Look at that beautiful color. Please be careful while you do this. Now the thing with pork, you don't want to overcook it. The old days when we were growing up, God bless my mother, I love her dearly, but she would really cook the pork chops really, really, really long, and it got a little dry. You want to cook it to about 145 degrees internally, so get a meat thermometer and play around with it and see where you can find 145 degrees. We're going to brown these Then they're going to go in the oven for about 15 minutes, 375 degrees, 15 minutes. So we have some nice color on number 2, or number 3 and 4. We're going to brown the other side. As we wait for that to brown, I'm going to get the components of the salad ready. Sorry, the salad greens were in Neptune.
We have a question about what temperature the Brussels sprouts go in.
375 degrees.
Is that a convection oven or is it just a regular?
That's convection. I'm not prepared. I'm just going to get a mixing bowl.
Oh, all right.
Sorry. Okay. So, we're paying more attention to our chops. We have some nice color on them. Right now we're going to kill our heat. We're going to paint these chops with our Dark Stormy barbecue sauce. It's going on a little early, but I like the fact that it's going to get nice and bruleed and break down and add to a textural contrast that I'm really keen about. So now these are going to go into the same 375 degree oven. Don't try this at all. These are going to go in for, like I said, about 12 to 15 minutes. So, salad time. When I decided to make a salad, one of my good friends, who will remain nameless, said, "Oh, I can't wait to tune in while you make a salad for that." And I laughed because I get it, that it's not the most complex thing to make. But what I wanted to share was there was two elements of making a salad that I'd like to share with you. So, we have some baby field greens, some green onion, which is real prevalent in the spring, some English cucumber, some nice salty feta cheese, and we have a carrot. So, we have our greens. They're going to go into a mixing bowl. Season your greens. Again, nice chunky salt, a nice sea salt. Maldon's great. It's amazing. In a restaurant, the server will always come up, fresh black pepper, and I always feel that salt is the one of the two things that the salad's missing. Pepper's great, it's fantastic. But I really, really crave salt in a salad to bring those flavors of everything in the composition together. So we're going to add our tomatoes, our green onion. You could just as easily use red onion if you like. I went to a plum tomato today because unfortunately the supermarket didn't have my favorite tomato this time of year is a Campari tomato. It's in a small plastic carton. They have a wonderful sweetness. They're bigger. They're considerably bigger than a cherry tomato, but smaller than a plum. They're fantastic in a salad. They're fantastic with mozzarella and basil. They make a great tomato sauce too, which possibly I'll show you down the road. Our cucumbers going in, and we have our feta cheese. Feta is fantastic. It's got a great creaminess and saltiness to it. It could just as easily be Parmigiano, Pecorino, Asiago, whatever floats your boat is great. It's whatever you like for sure. Each cheese has a little bit of a different taste to it. So We're also going to get some carrot in there. I'm just going to take a vegetable peeler with the carrot just to get a different shape in there, and it's rather easy to do at home as opposed to everything being uniform. You know, one thing that can be interesting about a salad is just an array of different shapes and textures and such. If you want to cut it into coins, by all means do so. There's no right or wrong answer on this. So, as great as salads are, we tend to heat them up a little. And I know what you're thinking, wow, this guy looks like a real health nut. Parmesan pepper and blue cheese and Chipotle ranch are all fantastic, but you can lose a lot of calories and really develop great flavor just by squeezing a lemon in. You want to be careful not to get any seeds in there. After you squeeze it once, all the bits will come pretty close to the surface, and then you can go back in for some juice. And you're going to do the same thing with another half. And another great component, extra virgin olive oil. So olive oil, just a little bit. And then we're going to toss. So you have some beautiful colors. This is really aesthetically pleasing. And it doesn't have to be mesclun. It could just as easily be arugula. It could just as easily be watercress. Whatever floats your boat, it's all going to be fine. Dress this real simple way. Lemon juice, salt, and extra virgin olive oil. So, here's our salad. Some nuts would be great in this. Almonds, walnuts, sunflower seeds, you name it. So, but really nice bright colors. And as you can see, it's not swimming in dressing. It's really, really well balanced. All your flavors will come out rather nice there.
We have a question, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Asking how long does the barbecue sauce simmer?
Oh, you want to be really careful about that. Add your ketchup at the very back of it. Start off with your liquid. Start off with your rum. Flame your rum out. From there, once all the flame is burned out, then add your ginger beer and your brown sugar. Cook that down. Add all your other ingredients from the list, and the last thing should be the ketchup. Ketchup has a ton of sugar in it. It'll naturally want to burn. So you want to add your ketchup at the end. Bring it right back up to a simmer, a couple of bubbles, and you're done. And that can hold for well over a week in your refrigerator in a tight jar. And it's great. We do at the Rum Runner chicken wings with it that are fantastic. Chicken breast would be great. Anywhere you could use barbecue sauce. And if you can't make this, by all means, use whatever barbecue sauce that you like at home. So, we have our salad. Now we have our Brussels sprouts roasting. We need one more component to the dish, and that's going to be whipped sweet potatoes. So, as far as sweet potatoes go, I roasted 3 of them. I took some vegetable stock and some whole milk. It's got a pinch of cayenne in it. And I'm going to bring this up to temperature. What I'm going to do is take some of this, all this pulp of the sweet potato. As you can see, no skin. It's going to go right in here. And these roasted till they were soft, about a half an hour at 375. Now these are going to be really, really pliable, as you can see. They break down really easy. And you want to be careful with this. And you can just as easily use a potato masher for this. We're going to season these with a little salt. We're going to taste them. That's where we want to be. We're going to take the juice of maybe a quarter of an orange. Add it into there. Acidity will make all your food pop. Your food could be flat without the addition of any type of acid. Citrus juice, a vinegar, or something like that.
Someone's asking if you can use non-dairy milk.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we've had regular milk in my house in like 4 years. So almond milk's great. Soy milk would be fantastic. Coconut milk might be a little strong, but maybe you stumble on something awesome too. So, but yeah, of course, you certainly can. Okay. So, we have our potatoes. We have our Brussels sprouts that are just about ready. So we got a nice roasted color on these. And as I said the last time, finish anything that you cook with just a little more extra virgin olive oil. That will bring a nice freshness to it. So we're going to go to the plate. A little of our Brussels sprouts. A little of our sweet potato puree, or whipped sweet potatoes as it is. Now, star of the show, we have our beautiful Dark Stormy Pork Chop. This dish can be done in a million different ways. If you don't like sweet potatoes, by all means, mashed potatoes, great. Roasted potatoes would be fine. If you don't like Brussels sprouts, broccoli would be great. cauliflower would be fantastic. Some sauteed spinach would be great.
All right.
So there's our 2 dishes today.
That looks great. So good. Quick question about Mother's Day is coming up, and I believe you have something to do with that. And
We do. We're going to do curbside pickup at the Rum Runner. We'll be getting back to work, and we're all excited about working. It's been far too long that we've been away from the restaurants. Stay posted. Stay in tune for this week. We'll be posting menus, and we hope to see you soon. We're gonna really offer a fun package for Mother's Day. It's really gonna be nice. So pay attention to those menus coming out.
All right, and your buddy Mark's going to be at the Rum Runner at 5:30 on Friday.
Marcher Cervani. Awesome. I can't wait to see what drinks he's doing. Mark is truly one of the most talented bartenders I've ever worked with, along with Andrew Robinson. But 2 of my favorites for sure. And I look forward to seeing what Mark's doing and certainly listening to Tim. Tim's been fantastic this whole time. So.
All right, and we're going to see you again soon.
Sure. Whenever you, whenever. I was hoping to do some pasta soon. You know, some quick meals, maybe a few different renditions of things we could do with a red sauce. Hopefully next week we can do that.
Still open to suggestions?
Absolutely.
All right, sounds good. All right, thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
All right.